Hey guys, so this video is for our kindergarten and first grade team. This is actually for February week 4, the last Sunday in February, but because of our snow day, we are pushed back, so we are just doing February week 3 in our curriculum. So all month long, we've been talking about service, lending a hand to help someone else. And this week, our story is about Jesus feeding the 5,000. And our bottom line is use what you have to serve others. So our memory verse for this month has been, anyone who wants to be first must be the very last. They must be the servant of everyone. Mark 9:35. And then just make sure that all the kids that you have today take home their car ride conversations so that parents can see what we learned about, ask them some questions, and then just kind of know what's going on in kids ministry for this week. So jumping over to our leader guide, we would love for you to join us in the garage door room at 8:20 and 10:20. We've been huddling up, having coffee and donuts, and it's been awesome just praying for each other, celebrating with each other. Shh, Henry. Henry, shh, not while I'm doing this. Go out and go. Henry, go out in the other room. Go in the other room. And I'm just really spending some time getting to know each other during that time. So we'll be finished with that at 8:30 and 10:30 to head back to your room and make sure you have everything ready to go. Then when kids start to roll in for pre-service at 8:40 and 10:40, what you're going to need is this little jar of beans and a big jar of beans. And what you're going to do is let the kids empty out the little jar of beans and see if they can count them to 100. There's actually more than 100 beans in here. But maybe they could put them in groups of 5 or groups of 10 and say, okay, you need 10 groups of 10. Kindergartners have been working on that, so you could have them count by 10s or count by 5s. First graders should probably already know that skill, but see if they can get to 100. And they say, hey, if this has 100, how many beans do you think are in this big jar? And just have them make estimates. Say, well, why do you think that? And really, we're just trying to get them thinking of big numbers because Jesus is feeding 5,000 people, and we want them to know that that's a big number. Lola. Oh, goodness. Are you stuck? Okay. Well, she's fine for now. Okay. When service starts at 9 and 11, you're going to do an activity called I Packed My Lunch. You won't eat anything. You're going to have kids sit in a circle, and you'll start by saying, I packed my lunch, and I packed, and you're going to say something that starts with an A. So maybe it might be apples. And then the next kid would say, I packed my lunch. Sorry, I'm setting this down really fast. And I packed bananas. And then the next kid is going to say something that starts with a C. So you might have to kind of help them, especially the kindergartners. And if you're maybe your first grade groups or maybe even your kindergarten groups, if they can remember what came before, then they can say, I packed an apple, banana, and cookies. And if not, they can just add on each time. So then you're going to close that down by saying, so guys, wow, we packed a lot of things in our lunch. Well, in our Bible story today, we're going to hear about a boy who packed only 2 different things for his lunch. So let's go learn more. You pooped, didn't you? That stinks. All right. So then you'll head down to large group. I am hosting and storytelling this week, so sorry in advance. But I think it's going to be a really fun one. The kids are really going to like it. So just as always, make sure that you're sitting with your small group and helping them to engage and listen to the story. When you get back to your room at 9:40 and 11:40, what you're going to have is on your cart a little lunch bag filled with some items. So these are the items that you're going to see in your lunch bag. A little stuffed animal, some Kleenexes, a cup, some mac and cheese, little cards, a flashlight, a napkin, some crayons, some floss. And what you're going to do is you're going to have kids sit in a circle and hold the lunch bag and say, so guys, some call this a lunch bag, but I call it a way to use what you have to serve others. So then you're going to pull one thing out of the bag and say, some people call this macaroni and cheese, but I call it something that you could make for your mom if she's not feeling good. Doesn't every mom want that? Some call it a box of crayons, but I call it a gift I could give to a friend who's sick. And then you'll pass the bag to the next kiddo, and they'll pull an item out of the bag, and they'll do the same thing. So keep passing the bag around the circle, and each kid will pick out a different item and say the way that they could use that item to serve others. They might get stuck, so maybe you have to ask them some questions like, what could you use a stuffed animal for? Would a little brother or sister like that? Or, Kleenexes, if someone was crying, could that help them? And you might have to kind of whisper that in their ear to help them. And then just, have everyone go around the circle and take a chance. Make sure you put them all back in the bag for second service. And then you're just going to close that down by saying, wow, you guys came up with some really creative ways to just use some ordinary things to serve others. So what are some things that you might have at your house that you could use to serve others? And see if kids come up with anything. There's some examples there. Great ideas. And you know what? When you use what you have to serve others, God can take what you give and do big things with it. Just like the little boy that had the fish and the bread. So remember, use what you have to serve others and then watch what God can do. So for the memory verse activity, you're going to need your Bible and a lunch bunch activity page, which I forgot to pull out of the thing. I will show you what that looks like right here. It looks like this. It's got pieces of bread and fish, and it has the memory verse written on each one. I'm going to guess that Joellen took those home to cut them apart to make it easier for you guys because she's an amazing leader, and Lisa. So each kid is going to get, Henry, please stop. She is not doing anything. Please stop while I'm making this. I'm almost done. Okay, please be quiet. Okay, thank you. You're going to give each kid a paper lunch bag, and you're going to let them color their lunch bags. And while they're coloring, practice saying the verse out loud. Okay, so you can have them practice saying that memory verse with the hand motions. And then as each kid practices saying it, you're going to give them a set of lunch bunch cards and have them put those cards in order. And then they can color their lunch bunch cards and they'll put them in their bag so that they can take it home and practice it at home. And then you'll just close this down by saying, so guys, Henry, shh, go out in the hallway, please. You'll close it down by saying, so guys, Jesus called his 12 disciples to follow him because he wanted to teach them something really important. He wanted to teach them how to serve others. And you guys are learning how to serve others too. Today you learned that you can use what you have to serve others. How did the boy in today's story use what he had? He shared his lunch. He gave it to Jesus. So what's something you have that you could share with others? See if they come up with ideas. Henry?
But what was teaching me?
Great ideas, guys. You are so thoughtful. No. Oh, guys, it is a parenting struggle today. Henry, quit. Please quit. Okay, I know I'm not alone. Don't judge me. All right. Finally, to end in prayer, you're going to need the big thing of beans from earlier. Then you're going to have kids gather around you and dump out the big thing of beans. And there's going to be 2 white beans inside of it. So you're going to take out the white beans and put them in your hand. And you're going to say, so guys, remember out of 5,000 people, which is all the red beans, Jesus, which is one of the white beans, took the lunch of the one boy, point to the other white bean. He gave thanks to God and he did a miracle. So can you believe that from just those 2 people, they used what they had to serve everyone else? So can you use what you have to serve others too? And then you're going to give each kid an index card and you're going to encourage them to write or draw a way that they could serve others on their card. And then you're going to close out in prayer. I'm going to wrap up this video because my kids are driving me insane and they're making it very difficult to do this. Thank you guys for serving. So grateful for you all. Hopefully the weather turns around for us here and we start getting some warmer weather. Looking forward to see you on Sunday. Thank you so much. Goodbye.